Welcome to Wellness Quarters, where wellness lives. My name is Gayle Nowak. I'm your host, Wellness for All expert leader, and communication and emotional wellness coach. The Wellness Universe is thrilled to bring you this inspiring interview series with our members as part of our Wellness for All program. We bring experiences like this to you because we believe happy, healthy, and healed humans lead to peace globally. Join us here on the second Tuesday of each month at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and the fourth Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for a 15-minute session filled with insightful interviews and practical wellness tips from top professionals in the wellness universe. Whether you're seeking inspiration or actionable advice to enhance your well-being, Wellness Quarters is your go-to destination for support on your journey to a healthier, happier life. This pay what you can donation-based program is supported by generous viewers like you. If you'd like to donate, you can do that now, after we're done, or anytime in the future using the link that I'll post in the chat. And a special thanks to everyone who has already donated. And if you'd like to reach out to me about the show, I'll include my contact details in the chat as well. At the end of the show, you'll see a pop-up to leave a rating and review. We're grateful for yours as it helps Wellness Quarters reach more people seeking tools and practices to optimize their well-being. Today, we're speaking with Leah Skurdal about embodying your soul wisdom. Leah is a spiritual resilience coach, transformational facilitator, and author who supports heart-led leaders in managing stress and navigating change with grace. Through body awareness, improvisational movement, and intuitive practices, she empowers people to reconnect with inner calm and lead from soul-aligned clarity. I love that. Leah also serves as the Chief Operating Officer and event leader at the Wellness Universe and is the author of Seeking Serenity: How to Find Your Inner Calm and Joy. Welcome, Leah.
Thank you so much, Gayle. I'm delighted to be here with you.
I'm so excited for our conversation today. It's always magic when we get together.
I know, isn't it? That's true.
Yeah. So, Leah, you talk about guiding people in shifting from the ego and connecting with their soul. And I'm curious, was there a specific moment in your life when you first had to make that shift, or maybe got you aware that there was even a difference between your ego and your soul? And how did that shape the work that you do now to support others?
My spiritual journey started when I was 20 years old and I did not die in a car crash. And at that time, somebody else I knew died in a small plane crash. And I started asking those big picture questions. Why me? Why am I still here?
Right.
And after everything that we've gone through, why are you still here? Well, we still have a lot to do. And that's been that journey of bringing awareness into being purposeful.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I can see how something as big as that, it could really wake you up from just sort of doing the rote day-to-day life, right? Yeah. So for someone who's new to this idea of the difference between our ego and our soul and our body, can you describe that a little bit? Like, what does it look like to operate from your ego versus your soul?
What I notice for myself is that this ego is this shell on the outside, and it's my squirrel brain trying to grasp, trying to figure things out, trying to control all the details. Oh, just let me be in charge because then everything will work out right. Right? That's what
Mhm.
my ego wants to do. I am a control freak. And when I step inward to allow that wise part of myself, the soul part that is eternal, the highest and best version of myself to be in charge, I get better decisions. I feel more peaceful. I feel more anchored, more grounded, more resourceful, more sure, more certain. I just, I, it's stepping into that embrace.
Mm.
And that's the difference that I feel personally. And my clients notice that as well. That the, the grasping versus the feeling embraced and held and carried. Have you had that experience? Does that resonate?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, as you were talking about it, I could feel like the tension and the holding, the restriction, in the as you were describing the ego, and then sort of like the relaxed feeling of being connected with your soul. It feels more expansive. It feels more relaxed. It's kind of like getting out of our own way. That's how I'm hearing it and interpreting
Mhm.
it, and that's been the experience for me too, as a
Yeah.
recovering control freak. Yeah, and the ego likes to be in control,
Oh,
so
yes.
that completely makes sense that it would feel different when you're in your ego versus when you're really connected with higher self and your soul's wisdom.
And that makes such a huge difference in our relationships as well. Because when I am in my ego and observing someone else, I can get stuck in judgment and resentment and envy and all of those poisons and get trapped in that. And that is then the way that I'm showing up in that relationship.
Mhm.
However, if I can put that, okay, I see you, put that over there on the side. I'm going to step into that highest and best version of myself and interact with the other person from their highest and best self. Well, you know what? That brings out their highest and best self. And we have a different relationship. We have a different conversation going on when we're seeing the other person as their highest and best version of themselves as well.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. And Charlene has a really great question here for you, Leah. Is the ego a good thing or a bad thing?
It's neither good nor bad. It just is. We need our egos to do checkbooks and to get from here to there and navigate with Siri to on and all those techie pieces. We need our egos. It's when ego is wanting to be in control of everything that we get sometimes stuck. So our ego mind can just be that the one who takes responsibility and who takes direction from soul.
Mm,
So let
yeah.
the wise part of yourself be the highest and best version of yourself, be the one who's making decisions, making those directional changes, those pivots.
Yeah, I once heard someone say the the rational mind supports the intuitive mind. And so that's kind of what I hear you saying with the ego, right? The ego needs a job, it needs a purpose. It has a job and a purpose, and typically it is to protect us or to communicate something to us. And we don't want that to stop. That there are times where we need
We need
that.
that. Yeah.
And it needs direction. It doesn't have to direct us. It needs direction from, as you said, that higher self. So that makes total sense. Yeah. Um, hmm. So for those who are listening and who might feel a little stuck in their head or overwhelmed by that ego chatter, what's a simple practice or a first step that they can use to start tapping into their soul wisdom and hearing more of that higher self?
Yeah. My go-to is bring your awareness from your head to your heart. And breathe through your heart as if you have a nose in the center of your chest. Breathe in deeply and exhale slowly. Breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly. And then use that imagination as if you could follow a spark of light inward, 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 behind your physical heart, in front of your spine. There's a doorway inward. Follow that spark of light to your soul. And then listen with the ears of your heart. And bring a decision, maybe, right there. What's a choice point that you have in this moment? Maybe something simple. How does that feel? Does the choice feel, choice A, does choice A feel expansive or contractive, restrictive? Does choice B feel expansive or does it feel constrictive? So that feeling state is like my first go-to for making a decision. And then I'll do a self-check with the mind. Okay, let's run through all the details. Does this, now it doesn't always make sense, but you can balance out both that mind processing. But then when it comes down to, I don't know which is best, then feel into that decision and let your heart decide. Let your soul wisdom decide. Do you do that?
I
Is that a
love,
regular process you do?
yeah, similar to that. And one of the things I really appreciate about how you guide your clients through that process is getting all of the senses involved. I love that you're visual, you're using your voice, I noticed that you were tapping your body. So I know, physical movement is a piece of the work that you do with clients. And I feel like all of that, we're still using our mind and we're still connected to our mind, and yet I feel like all of that together helps us get more present with our body. And so I'm curious if you can talk a little bit about that body awareness piece and that the movement piece in your work and how that plays a role in helping us access and embody our soul wisdom.
Yes. Divine presence is in every cell of our bodies, every mitochondrial DNA, every aspect of our body tissues. And when we're aware of that higher vibration that is available to us, we're bringing in that soul wisdom. We're bringing in that soul consciousness, that higher vibration of our uniqueness, the higher vibration of our oneness with all of life. And we're finding that balance that is, again, that unique intersection for each of us between our uniqueness and our oneness. And we can feel into that place of respite, of, oh, I belong here. I belong to myself. And so the body awareness is becoming aware that spirit is animating our tissues and that we're coming home to ourselves. And I've had so many people had that experience of finally feeling at home in their own bodies.
Yeah.
Too many of us have felt that disassociation from our physical bodies. And
Right.
when we embody soul, we feel like we're coming home.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And Marissa's saying, thank you for reminding us about the power of using our breath to support us in being calmer and more grounded. I mean, I think sometimes the simplest things, right? We forget to breathe. I mean, we automatically breathe. And a lot of times we're doing that shallow breathing, and simply just taking a moment and being present with our breath can help us come down, move that focus down into our body from our minds. And yeah, I really appreciate what you're saying about the being disconnected. I remember having an experience a few years ago. It was chakra dancing, and I had never done that before. And I remember after having that experience, just like having this very distinct awareness of like, oh, I have a body. I know it sounds silly, but like I finally felt connected with my body, which was really, it threw me a little bit for a loop, Leah, because I'm somebody who is active and grew up playing sports, and so it's not like I wasn't using my body all these years, right? And yet to have that awareness of that connection was just a very different experience for me.
I,
And yeah,
I
a
know
lot
what
of us are walking around from the neck up, right?
that was exactly how I was. I was this big body, this big head on this teeny tiny body in college, just always in my head, always in my thoughts. And I
Yeah.
had an experience walking in the woods where all of a sudden I I focused like behind my eyes and along my spine and into my tailbone and through my legs into my feet into the earth, and like, oh, everything was suddenly brighter, and I felt like, oh, here I am. I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah.
And I noticed that with a lot of my clients, especially when I was doing massage, I would notice that they're they were so anxious because they're all squirreled up in their minds. And anxiety often comes from not being in your body.
Yeah.
And so when we ask people to get back in your body, bring your awareness behind your eyes, behind your heart, behind your navel, into your tailbone, bring your awareness there along your spine. Like, oh, I'm back. That's right. Here I am.
Right. And you use the word home. I mean, this is our home.
This is our home.
It's our home.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Leah, for the wisdom that you're sharing here today. And I know you have so much more. So for those who want to learn more about you, your work, they want to connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, I'm going to drop my Wellness Universe link in the chat, but right now right here I have this link here. This is a transformational journey. Oh, I started that. I'll change that. And then I've got my Wellness Universe profile link right here, which I am copying. That's one of those right brain, left brain things you got to do, which is what your mind is super good for. There we go. Oh, I don't need that bit. Okay, there. Connect with Leah. And I have this transformational journey workshop coming up with the 25 tools for life, 25 tools for transformation. And the topic is on that soul embodiment. Here's a free seat. Drop in. Certainly come to my class. And then we invite you to join the entire bundle and take all of the 29 classes.
Beautiful.
However,
Yeah.
certainly come to my class. Here's a free seat. We'd love to see you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, and for offering the free seat. And thank you for sharing time and space and energy with us today. Thanks to everyone joining us live and watching the replay. We'd love to see you for our next show on Tuesday, September 9th at 5 p.m. Eastern with Marisa Ferreira for our show on Speaking Without Fear. Until then, be well, everyone.